What is up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? Thanks for stopping in, chit-chatting, hanging out with me for just a little while. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about an animated film from 1991, one of my personal favorites growing up. I was, like 8, 7 when this came out? It was fantastic. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button, though, because today we are talking about Rock-A-Doodle, guys. This is directed by none other than Mr. Don Bluth. All right, we got Don Bluth did All Dogs Go to Heaven. I mean, he did a lot of stuff growing up. Ferngully, I think, maybe he did that. But Don Bluth is a legend in animation. In my opinion, Don Bluth is just as legendary as Disney, and I think that he has given us some better animated films than Disney did. I mean, sure, Disney gave us stuff like, the original Snow White, Cinderella, Rescuers Down Under, and those are all great family films. Love them. Some of my, also, personal favorites. But Don Bluth always had that maturity factor. He wasn't sing-songy like Disney. Disney always has the songs in it. It's always got the sing-alongs and, the lilting voices and all that stuff. Don Bluth never really had the musical aspect in his films, but his films always had, in my opinion, they had a better message. They had a more mature message. And yeah, some of Don Bluth's films were very dark. They were dark films with a lot of mature thematic elements in them. But at the same time, they weren't so dark that, or maybe they were, now that I think about it. I was going to say they weren't so dark as they traumatized and scared kids, but I think that's what made them so memorable to a lot of us who grew up watching them, was his ability to have something dark, traumatic, whatever it was. He has that situation in the film, and that's what we remembered, is because we had gotten, as children, emotionally attached to Fievel. We'd gotten emotionally attached to Charlie from All Dogs Go to Heaven. We, as children, our hearts poured out for these characters, and then something, sad would happen. Or, the movie would end on kind of a down note, but it was still happy because everything worked out for everybody. There was just a loss. That, to me as a child, that spoke more than a Disney film did. Because sure, Disney films, they had their traumas, their situations that, would cause you to be anxious or upset or something like that. But they always were kind of sugar-coated. Where Don Bluth never really sugar-coated anything. I mean, Don Bluth's villains were scary. The Wicked Witch, sure, she's scary. The Evil Witch in Snow White, sure, she's scary when she's not pretty. But Don Bluth, I mean, we had what was the bulldog guy with the cigar and All Dogs Go to Heaven, and we had, the giant ooze monster thing from Ferngully and all this stuff. Man, my nose is itching like crazy, guys. I gotta shave. But anyway, I just really thought that Don Bluth always carried more of an emotional hook, more of an engagement, more of an impact for the youth than Disney did. And in this film, it's also another Don Bluth example of, we've got Christopher Plummer as this scary owl who is like, I'm here to make sure the sun never rises again. And he's there to terrorize our main character, Edmund, or Edward, it's Ed something. Ed, we'll call him Ed. He, Christopher Plummer does that dark, sinister voice. And then we have Glenn Campbell, who's Chanticleer, the rooster, who his crow makes the sun rise, right? The animation is crisp. The acting is fantastic. And the thing is, Rock-A-Doodle, it's semi-musical because Chanticleer is a country western troubadour rooster who, he's played by Glenn Campbell, and he's singing, and he's he sings the songs, the sun comes up, he sings the songs in the clubs and all this kind of stuff after everything goes down. And so there's a little bit of music to that, but it's not the Disney sing-along type music. It's music that progresses the film, if that makes sense. Also, the animation for Don Bluth has always been very, very good, in my opinion. Now, is it Disney quality? Maybe not, but it's still beautiful. And I like it because his animation tends to be a little darker than other animation. And by darker, I just mean the color palettes and stuff seem to be just a touch darker. It's not quite as vibrant as some other stuff from like, you know, DreamWorks or Disney or Pixar or something like that. It's not like, oh, you're blinded, you know. It's very dark. You look at it and it's kind of muted colors. I've always dug Don Bluth's animation style for that reason. I always thought that was a really the backgrounds always looked a little more realistic than a Disney picture, we'll say. But overall, I mean, I really enjoy Rock-A-Doodle because of the story, because of the animation, because of the characters. The characters get you engaged. I love Chanticleer. I like Christopher Plummer as the owl guy, as the owl villain. I can't remember his name. His name's like Count Orlok or something. I don't know. But it's just, they've always been stellar animated films produced by Don Bluth, and Rock-A-Doodle is no different. It is one of those seminal works like American Tail or All Dogs Go to Heaven that if you're a fan of Don Bluth, you need to check this movie out because it is worth your time and you'll enjoy it. If you grew up like me, if you're an old codger like I am, you've probably seen Rock-A-Doodle and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, how instrumental, pivotal, how memorable it was as a child seeing this film. So if you get a chance, check out Rock-A-Doodle. It's streaming on Prime. It's streaming on Tubi. It's streaming on Pluto. You got places you can check it out, guys. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you do. And if you have seen it, check it out again and crank up that nostalgia to 11, guys. That's it for Rock-A-Doodle. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. I love you. And as always, peace out. God bless you. And I will see you soon.